In today's episode of Blowing the Horn, we delve into the intricate web of Zimbabwe's judiciary. From its role as a beacon of justice to its current state as a political battleground, join us as we explore how the courts have become tools of power rather than pillars of fairness. Stay tuned for a revealing journey through Zimbabwe's legal system. In the heart of the land. While you grab your popcorn and settle in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you ensure you never miss an episode where we unravel the complexities and controversies shaping Zimbabwe's legal landscape. Your support helps us continue to shed light on crucial issues affecting Zimbabwe today. Stand together in the day, through the darkest night, root out the opportunities. Welcome to Zimwaves TV, where we plunge headfirst into the absurdities plaguing Zimbabwe today. Today's episode of Blowing the Horn is a roller coaster ride through the maze of Zimbabwe's judiciary. Ah, Zimbabwe, where the justice system has become the punchline of a tragic joke. The courts, once pillars of justice, now moonlight as political enforcers for the ruling ZANU-PF party. The judiciary, which should be the last bastion of hope for the oppressed, now seems to be the regime's favorite tool for keeping dissenters in line. Take, for instance, Job Sikala, a former opposition MP and member of the Citizens Coalition for Change, CCC. His sin? Daring to speak truth to power. For this, he's been arrested more times than he's probably had hot meals. His latest stint in prison, charged with inciting public violence, reads more like a bad script from a political thriller. The judiciary's role? Ensuring Sikala stays behind bars long enough to miss any meaningful political action. And let's not forget the CCC's battle against Songezo Chabangu. Their case was dismissed with the kind of efficiency usually reserved for speeding tickets, not serious political grievances. It's almost as if the courts have a special express lane for cases that inconvenience the ruling party. The judiciary's bias became even more evident when Nelson Chamisa, leader of the CCC, decided not to bother contesting the election results in court. Why, you ask? Because the courts have been virtually captured, rendering any legal challenge against vote rigging as futile as using a chocolate teapot. It's a damning indictment when the leader of the main opposition doesn't trust the highest legal authority to deliver a fair verdict. Speaking of the highest legal authority, let's talk about the Chief Justice. He's in office under questionable legality, flaunting the Constitution, the very document that should be the supreme law of the land. It's like having a referee in a football match who's also the captain of one of the teams. Fair play? Not in Zimbabwe. Imagine what the legendary lawyers Herbert Chatepo and Edison Zvabgo would say if they were to rise from their graves today. They'd likely take one look at the current state of the judiciary and demand to be reburied. Chatepo, a distinguished lawyer and nationalist, and Zvabgo, a constitutional law expert and politician, fought for a Zimbabwe where the judiciary upheld democratic values and protected citizens' rights. Today, they'd see a judiciary that's more interested in political favoritism than in delivering justice. The judiciary's slide into partisan politics is further exemplified by cases like those of investigative journalist Hopewell Chinono and opposition leader Jacob Ngarivume. Chinono has been arrested so many times, he probably has his own cell at the local jail. His crime? Exposing corruption. Ngarivume, meanwhile, was detained for calling for anti-government protests. Despite flimsy evidence, the judiciary saw fit to deny him bail multiple times. It's as if the courts have a special vendetta against anyone with the audacity to speak out against the government. And then there's the tale of Joanna Mamambe and Cecilia Chimbiri, MDC Alliance members, who were abducted, tortured, and then accused of faking their ordeal. Their 3-year legal nightmare ended with an acquittal, but not before the judiciary showcased its remarkable talent for turning victims into villains. It's high time for accountability. Those in the judiciary who prioritize political bias over justice must be held to account. Zimbabweans must demand a return to a fair and impartial judiciary, one that serves as a true pillar of democracy, not a prop in the ruling party's tragicomedy. The people of Zimbabwe deserve a justice system that stands for fairness and equality, not one that perpetuates tyranny. Until then, the courtroom will remain just another stage where the farce of political bias plays out. much to the dismay of a hopeful audience. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Blowing the Horn on Zimwaves TV. Stay informed, stay engaged, and join us next time as we continue to shed light on the issues that matter most to Zimbabweans.
In the heart of Zimbabwe, a new dawn breaks. Our leader narrow calls for all our sakes. Trust the process, he says, be patient, stay strong. With faith in God, will I right every wrong. Trust the process.